how old am I? Well, I will tell you, I was born in 1743. So you will have to calculate in regard to the year. Now, I will tell you one thing, and it should not make it difficult. I was born on April 2nd, 1743. But 9 years later, I decided to celebrate my birthday on the 13th of April. And I'm not alone. Many here in America did the same thing, and throughout England they did the same thing. Do you know why? You know what happened in 1752 that made so many Englishmen add 11 days to their birthday and then celebrate their birthday 11 days later than they had already been accustomed? And you know? No idea? Well, something very simple happened. Something changed. What changed in 1752? You know? What must it? Say it loud. The calendar changed. Actually, it had changed about 150 years before that. It had changed by the decree of Pope Gregory XIII. Pope Gregory hired a number of astronomers and mathematicians to calculate much better with the advance of mathematics and astronomy, to calculate much more precisely a solar year. You know what a solar year is? What makes a year? What is the element that makes 1 year? What around the sun? Or the earth around the sun. Now, this had already been calculated by Julius Caesar and his number of astronomers and mathematicians back in the ancient Roman Empire. And they came up with about 350 some days makes a solar year. That is what they calculated. And Julius Caesar, being the great Roman emperor, said, well, the beginning of the year has to be in that month which witnesses the solstice, the spring vernal equinox, if you will. Which month is that?
March.
Named on behalf of the Roman god of war. No, the vernal equinox. I didn't mean to say the solstice, I meant the equinox. Mars, very good. So which month has been named for the Roman god of war, which Julius Caesar said obviously must be the beginning of a new year because there's a resuscitation of life? Which month would it be? If Mars is the Roman god of war, then the month must be March. But Pope Gregory decided no. No, we now have discovered there are 11 days we may add. It takes that much longer by their calculation. So he contrived an entirely new calendar, and he said the first day of the year should be near the winter solstice, which is also near what particular birthday? Pope Gregory, the beginning of the year, most proper, when the sun is, when the earth is the farthest from the sun, at least in the northern hemisphere. Jesus, birthday of Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth. Pope Gregory instituted what became known as the Gregorian calendar. All of the kingdoms of Italy, all of the kingdoms of Europe, that is the Germanys and France and Spain and Portugal, began to follow this except England. Why?
Because they weren't.
Because England was Protestant, had recently become Protestant. This was a great fervor, a great divisiveness throughout Great Britain. They would not accept the Catholic calendar until nearly 150 years later. What Englishman wants to be 11 days behind the business of Europe? It's essentially the element. Essentially the element to catch up with the political economy. In 1752, Great Britain accepted Pope Gregory's calendar. That is why I now celebrate my birthday on the 13th of April. Nevertheless, whether it was the 2nd of April or the 13th, I was born in 1743. So are you able to calculate how old I may be?
You didn't say what year it was.
When you're ready. Any other